Yeah. Morning, everyone.
This is screen visible, ma'am. Hello?
The others can answer for him.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, the screen
visible,
is.
ma'am.
Okay. I'll start the presentation, ma'am.
Yeah.
I take time.
I
Okay.
think you need to enlarge the fonts. It can be like how it was earlier.
Okay, ma'am.
No problem. You start the presentation. I can see anyway. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. A 55-year-old male, Mr. Rangasamy, coming from Tanjavur, working as a shopkeeper, has come with chief complaints of an episode of syncope 6 months back, breathlessness for the past 4 months, fatigue after physical activity for the past 4 months. History of presenting illness. The patient was apparently normal 6 months back, after which he developed syncope. One episode 6 months back, preceded by dizziness, dimming vision, lasted for 30 seconds, recovered rapidly. There was complete loss of consciousness, not associated with passage of stools, and there was no history of fits. The history of dyspnea for the past 4 months, gradual and onset, lasts for 10 minutes, progressing from grade 2 to grade 3 at present, according to the New York Heart Association scale for breathlessness. There was no orthopnea, no paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea, no platopnea.
So what is platypnea?
Platypnea is breathlessness in the when the patient is upright position.
From supine to upright.
Yes, ma'am. Upright position.
Okay.
There was history of fatigue after physical activity for the past 4 months. There was no history of chest pain, no history of palpitation, no history of edema, no history of cough with expectoration, no history of hemoptysis. There was no history of abdominal distension, no history of fever. Past history, no
So
similar complaints in the past. Yes, ma'am.
are we are with the presenting complaints. So
Okay,
let
ma'am.
us separate each and every complaint. First complaint, which was of long duration, was syncope. Is it?
Syncope. Yes, ma'am. Syncope.
So what is the definition of syncope?
Syncope is transient loss of consciousness due to inadequate cerebral blood flow.
Okay, hypoperfusion of the brain. So what are all the causes for syncope?
Uh, Causes of syncope, cardiac causes include bradycardia, heart block, arrhythmias, and
Yes.
could be due to aortic stenosis,
Yeah.
hyper. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it is mainly due to the conditions as you have told with bradyarrhythmias, complete heart
Yes,
block,
ma'am.
other conditions,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you get it where the stroke volume, the no left ventricular output stroke volume is low. So
Yes,
what are
ma'am.
the things which causes the reduced stroke volume is whenever there is a fixed obstruction
Obstruction.
left ventricular outflow tract. So left ventricular
Yes, ma'am.
outflow think that your aorta, that is a major vessel in that. So in
Yes,
that
ma'am.
case, due to aortic valve obstruction, it can be supravalvular, valvular, subvalvular, and also
Yes.
hypertrophic obstructive.
Cardiomyopathy.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
whereas the LV output is reduced, even you can have in a case of mitral stenosis,
Yeah.
there
Okay, ma'am.
have the cardiac output may be reduced due to severe MS. So all these
Okay, ma'am.
conditions mostly with the obstruction to the left ventricular outflow tract, and these
Yes.
conditions are with the reduced cardiac output.
Yes, ma'am.
Because with the reduced cardiac output, then the blood supply to the vital organs, including your brain, your
Yes, ma'am.
and the renal kidneys are reduced. So there
Mm.
you have syncope. Yes. Also,
Okay,
it
ma'am.
can be a normal phenomenon. Normal phenomenon, syncope, as a vasovagal syncope, after prolonged standing, some people can portion hypotension. That also can cause your syncope. They can
Okay, ma'am.
faint.
Okay, ma'am.
Classroom, classroom, some faint. And with
Okay.
cough, micturition, meaning vigorous coughing, and also
Mm.
micturition or syncope. That is cough and micturition syncope. Yes. And this is
Okay.
one cause of consciousness, as you said, not associated with involuntary like seizures. To differentiate from convulsions. Yes. But
Okay.
sometimes seizures may with the syncope because they also uh, find the short duration. In case of absence, it is a short duration. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dyspnea.
And other complaint is dyspnea. The patient progressed from grade 2
Grade 2 to grade 3.
of NVHA. So, what are all the grades of NVHA classification?
Grade 1 is no symptom with ordinary physical activity. Uh,
Yes.
uh, Grade 2 is symptoms with ordinary physical activity and there is slight limitation of physical activity. Grade 3 is symptoms with less than ordinary activity. There is marked limitation of physical activity. Grade 4 is dyspnea at rest or even with any physical activity.
Yes. So, grade 4 is dyspnea at rest. And also, you
Yes, ma'am.
said about the history of orthopnea and PND. I think about orthopnea and PND, all of you must be knowing about the difference between orthopnea and PND, is it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So the mechanism behind orthopnea and PND?
Orthopnea is a breathlessness in when lying down. It relieves quickly, but whereas in PNT, it occurs during night, during mid sleep. It takes time to relieve, uh, mostly because it's due to increased venous return and decreased sympathetic activity during the night.
Okay. So the increased venous return and pulmonary congestion, yes, that is the main reason for your orthopnea and PND.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
also diaphragm is getting elevated, reducing the tide
Elevated.
in the lying down position. So the dyspnea is better. The patient is better with his breathing in the upright position. So
Yes, ma'am.
that right question for cardiac patients. Any patient who is in a propped up, you always want to sit up, having the pillows at the back, not comfortably lying down. You can suspect the orthopnea, PND, pulmonary condition must be there. You can suspect orthopnea. We cannot say PND because only in sleep we can find it out. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Next complaint is you said about syncope. You said about um, your
Physic,
dyspnea. You said about fatigue.
uh, fa- fatigue. Fatigue.
So again, what are all the causes for fatigue in the cardiovascular illness, valvular heart disease, for example?
Fatigue is low perfusion, hypoxemia causes easy fatigue.
Yeah, again, the low cardiac output states like MS, AS, all these conditions, HOCM, all these conditions can cause a fatigue due to the low
Fatigue.
cardiac output, the blood supply to the vital organs, including your muscles. It's also
Yes,
need
ma'am.
a, no? So the patient is not able to, the cardiac output does not increase as per the demand when he exercises or when he walks. There is a physical
Yes, ma'am.
fatigue. That is due to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
hypoperfusion with the increased demand. That is the reason
Yes,
for
ma'am.
fatigability. Most common again the causes are fixed left ventricular output.
Fixed cardiac output.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
or aortic stenosis. Commonest aortic stenosis, commonest presenting complaints are dyspnea, angina, and
Think.
syncope. Yeah,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
not told the history is saying no angina, but you have not told about it. This patient may not be having, but angina is again a, a main
Uh,
cause of your aortic stenosis.
yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So why the
Can I
patient
move
has
on, ma'am?
angina in AS?
Yes, ma'am.
Why the patient
Yes,
has
ma'am.
angina in AS? Angina
Ma'am,
is chest pain.
at, ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am. Hello.
No, why the patient is having angina in aortic stenosis?
Okay. In aortic stenosis, angina is caused due to left ventricular hypertrophy, which increases oxygen demand, and
Yes.
there is also decreased diastolic perfusion time in aortic stenosis. There is also decreased capillary density in the muscle wall with respect to the wall thickness. and could also be due to atherosclerosis and uh, concomitant coronary artery stenosis.
That is with when the patients are aged, there can be associated
With
atherosclerosis and valvular sclerosis. That is also there. Yes.
yes, ma'am.
So now we want to proceed to the history of presenting complaints we saw. We are going to
Yes,
proceed
ma'am.
to past history. Yes.
Past history. Past history. No similar complaints in the past. No history of rheumatic heart disease, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, dyslipidemia, thyroid problems, TB, epilepsy. There was no prior cardiac disease or kidney disease. There is no past history of surgeries.
So past history again, okay. You cannot say the past history of rheumatic heart disease. You have to say the history of rheumatic fever. Heart disease is also fine, but exactly you
Okay,
can
ma'am.
history of rheumatic fever in the
Okay,
past.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
And
Personal history. Yes,
pardon,
ma'am.
diabetes and
Yes, ma'am.
hypertension is going to affect the heart.
Hi, ma'am.
Hyper,
It's not clear, ma'am. Hypertension.
yeah, how it is going to affect your heart?
Hypertension could cause cardiac dysfunction, ma'am. Hypertrophy, pulmonary hypertension can cause left ventricular hypertrophy.
No, again, hypertension. With the hypertension, there is a raised pressure gradient. The LV
Yes,
undergoes hypertrophy,
yes, ma'am.
concentric LVH, and then the LV failure can occur later stages, not earlier. Concentric LVH is the when you do an echocardiogram with the concentric LVH in the presence of hypertension, you will know that the hypertension is long-standing.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay,
Again,
ma'am.
diabetes can affect the heart in many ways. It can cause, diabetes per se is a immunocompromised state, and it is going to affect the smaller vessels. What is the hypertension is going to affect the greater vessels like aorta, but the diabetes is going to affect all the smaller vessels. It can affect,
Smaller vessels.
yes, it can
Okay,
affect
ma'am.
any organ from your eyes, from your heart, from your kidneys. So it can affect
Yes,
any
ma'am.
organ. Yes.
Okay.
And also in the
Personal.
case of antenatal mothers with diabetes, they have the babies can have also certain conditions like they are prone for congenital heart disease. In the case of patients, they have obese, large for day babies,
Okay,
and
ma'am.
they're prone to have a inherited heart disease in case of diabetes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thy-
Personal history.
Okay, so just I want to touch about thyroid. You know very well, thyroid can cause hypothyroidism, thyrotoxicosis. Hypothyroidism can cause your pericardial effusion
Yes,
and
ma'am.
again edema, cretinism. Mental retardation can be there if and from an early age and later
Mm-hmm.
age cause pericardial effusion and
Yes, ma'am.
again your thyrotoxicosis can cause commonly tachyarrhythmias, your atrial fibrillation.
Tachyarrhythmia. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Person, personal history, chronic smoker, 15 pack years, 10 cigarettes per day for the past 30 years. Alcoholic for the past 30 years, 8 ml of 40% alcohol per day. He is a mixed diet consumer. There is no history of IV drug abuse. There is no abnormal sexual behavior.
Why do you want to know about the IV drug abuse?
IV drug abuse could be a cause of infective endocarditis or tricuspid regurgitation.
Yes, affecting the tricuspid valves. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And smoking, tobacco, how can it causes?
Smoking predisposes the patient for atherosclerosis, coronary artery diseases.
Yes, vasospasm. It causes
Right.
nicotine vasospasm.
Yeah, so
More
spasm. Okay, ma'am.
no, aggravated. Even a patient with, I have seen patients with 30 years, 25 years succumbing to MI. So they are far prone to all this premature atherosclerosis and ischemic heart disease due to the
Okay, ma'am.
vasospasm caused by tobacco and
Yes, sir.
acute atherosclerosis. Again, your alcohol, it can cause dilated cardiomyopathy, so many things with alcohol. Yes.
Yes, okay, ma'am.
And your,
Family.
okay, fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Family history. There is no history of premature coronary artery disease or sudden cardiac death, hypercoagulable diseases, genetic defects, familial hypocholesterolemia. Drug history, there is no history of history of treatment drug, recreational drug intake. Summary: Mr. Rangasamy, 55-year-old male who is a chronic smoker and alcoholic for the past 30 years with no significant past history and family history of cardiac disease, now presents with breathlessness grade 3 for the past 4 months and one episode of syncope for the past 6 months back. The probable system involved is cardiovascular system.
Okay, the probable system is cardiovascular system. And
Yes, ma'am.
syncope and breathlessness, do you want to say it is any valve? You want to attribute to any valve, probably of which valve etiology?
Aortic valve etiology. Okay, ma'am.
Aortic valve etiology. Since the history of rheumatic fever, again, how much percentage you have the history present? So it will not be necessarily present.
Okay, ma'am.
Most of the persons, they don't give you the history of, there is a percentage, just find out. They don't give you any notes about it.
Okay, ma'am.
Present to the history.
Okay, ma'am.
The history. So it maybe in the time of diagnosis you can say the probable system is the cardiovascular system and the valve
Okay,
is
ma'am.
valve. Yes.
General examination. Patient is conscious, oriented to time, a pleasant person, comfortable and cooperative to examination. The patient is moderately built, moderately nourished. There was mild pallor. There was no icterus, cyanosis, clubbing, pedal edema, or generalized lymphadenopathy.
So this is the
There was
general.
no
Yes. Yeah. Tell me complete.
There was no markers of rheumatic disease, migratory polyarthritis, subcutaneous nodules, erythema marginatum, or Sydenham's chorea. No markers of infective endocarditis, fever, jaundice, splinter hemorrhages, Janeway lesions, or osseous nodes. No markers of early atherosclerosis, tendon xanthoma, xanthelasmata, or Frank sign. No markers of congenital heart disease.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, go back to the general examination, the first slide.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is a positive finding in general examination is the patient has only a mild pallor.
Mild
Other than
pallor.
don't have any positive findings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's positive. Like in this sclerosis, you expect a patient to have 55 years old. Markers of dyslipidemia you have to look for. Again,
Okay, ma'am.
if the patient is going to have atherosclerosis, you can look for your locomotor brachiae. It is not only a sign found in aortic regurgitation, also with
Okay,
the
ma'am.
of the vessel wall. You will see the pulsations of the brachial artery very much visible when the elbow is partially flexed. So look for
Okay.
locomotor brachiae and the markers of hyperlipidemia, like what is that? Arcus senilis and your
Arcus.
yeah, xanthelasma, earlobe crease, tendon xanthomas. So all these
Yes,
things
ma'am.
you look for as a
Okay,
markers of
ma'am.
schizophrenia, and also you have to look for markers of atherosclerosis like locomotor brachiae. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
And, where you will get the clubbing in a cardiovascular disease.
In congenital heart diseases, ma'am. In cyanotic heart disease.
Congenital cyanotic heart disease, you will get
Yes,
clubbing.
ma'am.
If it is
Clubbing.
a heart disease, then the clubbing will develop left to right chance.
Le- ma'am. Hello, ma'am. It was not. What did you ask, ma'am?
So in a case of acyanotic heart disease, like from with the left to right shunt, like VSD, PDA, and ASD, when you
Okay,
will
ma'am.
have this,
Uh,
Ma'am, Asian complex, ma'am.
yeah, with the reversal of the shunt and pulmonary
o-
hypertension, you will have a cyanosis. Yes,
okay.
and clubbing. We discussed about clubbing. So always the clubbing is associated with cyanosis in all this. What are all the other conditions where you can have clubbing? Just now you said
Clubbing.
infected metabolism. You can have a clubbing.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, Vital signs. Uh, Temperature 98 degree Fahrenheit. Respiratory rate was 18 per minute. Blood pressure was 90 over 70 millimeter Hg. JVP was not elevated. Pulse rate was 81 per minute. The pulse rhythm was regular, low volume. Character was slow rising. Vessel wall was normal. No radio radial or radio femoral delay. No pulse deficit. Felt in all accessible peripheral pulses. Thrill felt over the carotids.
So what thrill you have to again say? It is
Okay, ma'am.
systolic thrill. So again in your vitals, we look for the positive findings. Go back to the vitals.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this vitals, almost the respiratory rate temperature is normal, JVP is not raised, pulse rate is
Yes,
also normal, the way you have described. But pulse, will come to the pulse again, the nature of the pulse. The blood pressure is only 90 bar 70 millimeter of mercury. So the
yes, ma'am.
systolic is very low. That is called as
Very
systolic palpitation. That occurs here in your aortic stenosis. What is the
okay,
pulse?
ma'am.
Yeah.
What, ma'am?
Pulse pressure.
Pulse pressure.
Is it
Uh,
normal?
Pulse pressure is narrow, ma'am. Narrow pulse pressure.
So normally it
It's low.
can vary from 30 to 60, but it is less than 30. So the pulse pressure is again narrow. So this
Narrow pulse
indicates,
pressure.
yeah, this indicates again the patient may have a stenotic heart disease in the left ventricular outflow tract, that is your aortic valve stenosis. Then you come
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
pulse. The pulse is again, he has described it as a slow rising pulse. Why
Yes,
is
ma'am.
it tap? Otherwise it is called as slow rising pulse is otherwise called as
Pulsus tardis.
pulses parvus et tardus. Yes.
Parvus et tardis. Yes, ma'am.
Slow rising because of the aortic obstruction in the blood. The pressure is only reached at the middle of the systole, and the
Yes, ma'am.
pulse is similar. So it is only slowly raised because the ventricle can only come against this obstruction, and the peak is reached in the middle of the systole. That's why you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
systolic murmur as well as the slow rising pulse. That is
Yes, ma'am.
one. And another thing is thrill, you have to say it is a systolic thrill. Oh,
Systolic thrill. Okay. Okay.
so what are all the other special characters of the pulse? We can discuss about it. Otherwise, we'll be discussing only on one particular thing. What are the other special characters of the pulse?
Uh, Other types of pulses, ma'am.
Other types of pulses. See, you have in the pulse, you have the rate and rhythm. Rate and rhythm,
Yes, ma'am.
you examine the carotid. You feel the carotid, you assess the rate and rhythm. Then your
Yes, ma'am.
carotid volume. You have told two things. One is volume. Volume is also low. Character is slow rising. So volume
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can assess only with the palpation of your carotid pulse. Why? Because the carotid pulse is close to your ascending aorta. The modifications reform are kept to a minimum because it is close to the ascending aorta. So you can
Yes,
assess
ma'am.
the factor of slow rising as well as it is low volume and all mainly from your carotid, not by radial, because for the pulse wave to reach the radial, it has to again travel a long distance. So it can
Yes.
be modified. So this is one thing. And again, your pulse pressure, we discussed about low pulse pressure. When you say the pulse pressure is widened, increase.
Pulse pressure is widened in dilated cardiomyopathy, ma'am.
Pulse pressure is increased whenever normal pulse pressure is between 30 to 60 millimeter of mercury. So it is
O-
increased in the condition in your aortic incompetence. There,
Okay.
pressure is increased and the volume of the pulse will be high volume pulse with a widened
Yes.
pulse pressure, and you have the peripheral signs in aortic regurgitation of evidence all the hyperkinetic circulation. Because what happens in your aortic regurgitation?
Aortic regurgitation, blood flows backwards towards the left ventricle.
Yes, good. So whenever you want to remember the CVS easily, you remember the systole and diastole to remind about the murmurs or events. So the systole, onset of systole is
Okay.
preceded by your, when the ventricle, always you say by systole and diastole are always indicating the ventricular events, not about the atria. So the onset of ventricular
Okay.
systole is marked by the closure of the mitral and tricuspid valve.
Mitral valve. Tricuspid valve. Okay, ma'am.
And tricuspid valves. So that time the
Yes, ma'am.
ventricular systole starts. Then the completion of the ventricular systole is by your closure of the what?
The closure of aortic and pulmonary valve.
Aortic and pulmonary valves. They are closing. Then you have the ventricle in which
Ventricle and diastole.
diastole. So now
Diastole
in the
starts.
diastole period, which valve has to close?
Diastole, pulmonary and aortic valves has to close for diastole to start.
Closed. So the ventricle is in diastole. So in the
Yes,
closed
ma'am.
chamber, normally the valves has to completely close. But in a case
Yes,
of
ma'am.
incompetent aortic valve, what happens? There is a back leak of the blood towards the incompetent valve into the
Yes, ma'am. Ventricle.
left ventricle. So that's
Yes,
why
ma'am.
during when the ventricle is in diastole, there is an early diastolic murmur in case of your
Okay.
aortic regurgitation.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, so now we discussed about the pulse pressure. Then again, I have been asking you about the characters you know about. So volume also you discussed that the volume of the blood pressure the old age, not old age. With the old age increasing atherosclerosis, systolic blood pressure again becomes more. In that case, the pulse pressure will be widened without increased stroke volume.
Okay.
But otherwise, without evidence of atherosclerosis, without thickening of the wall, when the pulse pressure is less than 30 millimeter mercury, normal is between 30 to 60. What is the
Yes, ma'am.
normal? It is 120 bar 80. So here
Yes,
the
ma'am.
pulse pressure is 40 millimeter mercury. So when it is
Yes.
less than 30, as in your case 90 bar 70, it is called as narrow pulse pressure, low volume pulse. When it is going to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
more than 60 millimeter of mercury, it is again wide pulse pressure with a high, like increased stroke volume. So what
Oh,
happens in aortic regurgitation due to the back leak? This back leak of the blood also again comes forward when the ventricle is ejecting blood. So the stroke
yes,
volume
ma'am.
is more in case of your aortic regurgitation. That's why
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have what happens. You have the
Two peaks
what
in system.
pulse in aortic regurgitation. Why collapsing pulse? Why is it collapsing?
Uh, mm, collapse.
Diastolic runoff, ma'am.
Yeah. So during the diastole, yes, when the ventricle is collapsing, pulse is not really due to the diastolic, like it is due to the yes runoff of the blood into the two sides. The blood is running off when the ventricle is in systole, where and then it is running off.
Ventricle and systole goes into the aorta.
Goes into the aorta because of decreased peripheral vascular resistance. It can be easily ejected into the aorta, and due to the back leak, it is again emptied into the LV. So you
LV.
have a collapsing character of the pulse. The
Okay,
large
ma'am.
stroke is the reason for your rapid upstroke, and the rapid downstroke is due to your decreased peripheral resistance and off into the periphery.
Okay.
Yes. And what are all the other pulses you know? The character.
Uh, pulses alternance is seen in refractory heart failure.
Yes, alternate strong and weak beats. Yes.
And Bispherians pulse is seen in aortic regurgitation, which has two peaks in systole.
Okay, you can have yes.
Uh,
It's an air.
okay, ma'am. And
Yes.
dicrotic pulse, it is also seen in refractory heart failure, ma'am, and
Okay.
conditions causing circulatory collapse.
Okay.
Uh, Pulsus paradoxus is seen in cardiac tamponade, constrictive heart disease, uh, and it's also seen in severe asthma, acute severe asthma.
Severe asthma and cardiac tamponade. Why? What is
Yes,
pulses
ma'am.
paradoxus? What happens?
Pulsus paradox. Pulsus paradoxus is fall in systolic blood pressure more than 10 millimeter mercury during quiet inspiration.
இன்னும் வரல யார் வேணும் யார் வேணும் கிளாஸ்ல இருக்க அப்புறம் வரேன் எஸ்
Pulsus paradoxus is fall in systolic blood pressure is greater than 10 millimeter mercury during quiet inspiration.
yes. So normally during the inspiration the systolic blood pressure falls and there is an
Yes, ma'am.
exaggerated inspiratory fall which occurs in your cardiac tamponade and acute
Cardiac tamponade, asthma.
asthma. So in these two conditions you get the pulses paradoxus. The paradox is when the respiratory pulse is not felt, still the heart sounds are audible. But at the
Yes,
same
ma'am.
time, full pulses are not felt. That is about the
Okay.
pulses paradoxes. And what is
Yes,
pulses
ma'am.
Gemini?
Pulses by Gemini is due to ventricular premature complex, ma'am.
Ventricular premature complex, you have two beats at the same time with a
Same time.
long pause. So long pause. That is the pulses by Gemini.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Is there any other pulse, nature of pulse? Okay, then we will continue. Yes.
CVS examination, inspection, chest wall appears symmetrical, trachea appears midline, no kyphosis, no scoliosis or drooping of shoulders, apical impulse visualized in the left fifth intercostal space, lateral to the mid clavicular line, no precordial bulge, no abnormal pulsation, no dilated veins, no scars and no sinuses.
Okay, so your chest wall is symmetrical, trachea is in midline, and why
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
look for vertebral the spine abnormalities like kyphosis, scoliosis? What does scoliosis can do?
Uh, Kyphosis, scoliosis uh, can cause abnormality in the chest wall symmetry, ma'am.
Yes, it can
Uh,
display apex beat also. Scoliosis can all this can also cause an ejection systolic murmur, and the apex beat can be displaced out with scoliosis. That is
okay,
what.
ma'am.
And why do you want to see for the trachea position?
Trachea, the position of trachea could be misplaced, ma'am, uh, uh, for example, in pneumothorax, in such conditions, trachea position will be changed, ma'am.
Pushed away. Not only trachea,
Pushed away.
also tension pneumothorax, your apex beat also will be pushed away. That's why
Pushed
you are
away.
looking at the position of the trachea. Yes.
Trachea.
And
And
when you rule out spine abnormality and when you rule out the pleural pathology like pneumothorax or pleural effusion,
yes, ma'am.
not due to scoliosis, the apex beat is not due to your pneumothorax or pleural effusion. That's why you want to
Okay.
examine trachea on your spine. Uronotus
Okay, ma'am.
as a cause for displacement of the apex, which can happen
Okay.
in pleural pathology as well as the abnormality like scoliosis. And again,
Okay, ma'am.
precordial bulb. See, you put all the inspection findings, then you come to the apex peak. Precordial
Okay, ma'am.
bulb have a precordial bulb.
Precordial bulge indicates right heart hypertrophy.
Is it only it can be due to right heart hypertrophy or LVH can?
Any congenital heart diseases, ma'am.
Yes. Why only congenital heart disease? Because only in a young age the rib cage is so pliable with a growing age and it can easily cause this chamber hypertrophy of LVH or RVH can easily cause the bulge. What is precordium? Precordial bulge. What is precordium?
Precordium is the anterior aspect of the chest overlying the heart.
Overlying the heart. Okay, as she said, like any congenital heart diseases like left to left to right shunts or the PDA and other conditions can cause a precordial bulge. Here it is not there. What are all the
Yes.
pulsations you want to look for? And then we will come to the apex beat as the last. Pulsations.
Okay. Pulsation could be due to obstruction of superior vena cava subclavian vein, ma'am. It will show distended veins.
Again, SVC obstruction, SVC, it is a venous. Why do you want to look for pulsation in SVC obstruction? In case of SVC obstruction, you will have the pulsation will be absent in the neck. Engorged veins.
Okay, ma'am.
Because non-pulsatile veins and the dilated veins in the chest is the feature of your superior vena cava obstruction, where the flow is, I think, from above downwards in this
Above
engorged
down, ma'am.
collaterals.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And the patient also have a congested face. They have a
Congestion.
congested face, congested edematous conjunctiva, and they will be
Okay.
suffocating because of the SVC obstruction. They will be breathless. So this
Okay.
plethora is congested face, engorged non-pulsatile veins, very much distended veins, which are quite prominent, and they are non-pulsatile. That is the reason
Okay.
for that is a feature of the SVC syndrome. Most commonly, upper lobe tumor of the lung, pancreas
Lung.
tumor,
Fan customer.
cause your superior vena cava syndrome. There must be other causes. You look at it,
Okay.
and also cervical vein. You just look at the possibility. And again, other pulsations. What this is about the venous. Here, talking about the arterial pulsation to the heart. So normally you
Uh,
see pulsation external on the other
carotid artery pulsation.
carotid.
Aortic pulsation.
Yes, carotid
Carotid
pulsation.
artery pulsation is seen in aortic regurgitation and systemic hypertension.
Yes, so that is dancing carotid. That is seen in what is that sign? Corrigan sign, is it?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
Manifestation. Very
Okay.
much prominent carotid pulsations due to increased stroke volume and hyperkinetic circulation with your aortic regurgitation.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
look for pulsations in the suprasternal, supraclavicular, right parasternal, left parasternal, and epigastric area.
Okay,
Suprasternal,
ma'am.
it is not always associated with aneurysm of the aorta. You have a prominent expansion, but it is always aneurysm. The bulk expansion, it has separate windows examined.
Sorry, ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am. I'm not able to hear you. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's clear now.
So the arterial pulsations, what do you do by examining the arterial pulsation is you are just doing, you are, it need not be due to the, in case of even systemic hypertension, the suprasternal pulsations can be prominent. And it can be
Yes, ma'am.
also in your aneurysm of the arch of the aorta. And right
Okay, ma'am.
parasternal ascending aorta, left parasternal aneurysm of the descending aorta. And in
Okay,
case
ma'am.
of your epigastric pulsations, very easily visible in a thin individual. And in case of your abdominal aortic aneurysm, also you can have a epigastric pulsation
It's a
where it is
pulsation.
expand and spread your examining fingers. Expansile pulsation is characteristic of aneurysm of the aorta. And where you have
Okay,
the
ma'am.
pulsations.
Uh, other pulsations, ma'am. Hello.
Liver pulsations, not other
Yeah.
pulsations.
Oh, hepatic pulsation in tricuspid congenital heart diseases like stenosis, tricuspid regurgitation
Stenosis
can
and
cause.
stenosis, you have a diastolic pulsation of the liver. And in case of tricuspid regurgitation, you have a systolic pulsation of the liver.
Yes.
And
Okay,
also the
ma'am.
pulsations of the collateral circulation. Whenever in case of your coarctation of the aorta, you have collaterals over the scapula. You will see the pulsation
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
of collateral circulation in coarctation of aorta. This is called a Sussman sign. Yes. And
Okay, ma'am.
veins we discussed due to the SVC obstruction. Scars, again, you have to look for a scar of left submammary. It could be due to the your closed mitral valvotomy and midline
Yes,
star,
ma'am.
or it is due to your sternotomy and open heart surgery for a
Okay,
valve
ma'am.
replacement. They go for a,
Okay.
yes, on this. Yes.
Okay.
And your apex
Pal.
beat. The normal position, the apex beat, it is very much important to describe about the apex beat. Without
Okay,
that,
ma'am.
without describing the apex beat in complete and any your CVS examination is not complete. So the apex beat is in the normal position. how many centimeters lateral to the midclavicular line you have to say. So the
Okay, ma'am.
normal question or abnormal?
Abnormal, ma'am. Lateral is abnormal.
Lateral to the midclavicular line. So if it is only lateral, it could be also due to the RVH, also concentric LVH. Concentric LVH, sometimes it's usually down and out. Only lateral, it indicates RVH means P. So
Okay.
the it is displaced only out. Is it?
Okay, ma'am.
Question is in the left fifth intercostal space, half an inch
Sure.
incline to the left clavicular line. Here it is lateral. How many
Okay, ma'am.
centimeters? When it is shifted out, it can be 0.5 centimeters, it can be 1 centimeter, it can be 5 centimeters. So,
Okay,
to
ma'am.
say how many centimeters away from the MCL? Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Palpation. Tracheal position confirmed to be in midline. Apical impulse felt at the left fifth intercostal space, just lateral to the mid-clavicular line. Faint with no thrills. No pulsations over precordium. No parasternal heave. No palpable P2.
Okay. So here again, additionally, you have palpation. You have to describe the character of the apical impulse.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
faint. Is it the character? It is
Character is heaving character.
that you have to say. That is very much important. So where it is felt and what is the character. So heaving
Okay.
indicates
Heaving indicates parasternal heaving is seen in aortic stenosis, ma'am.
so there are two types of apical impulse. See, normally apical impulse can be tapping. It is due to the loud S1.
Yes,
Always
ma'am.
the LV event. Apical impulse is apex is normally formed by LV. Is it? That's
Yes,
the
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
LV. So when it is
Yes, ma'am.
heaved, that indicates there is a pressure overload of the left ventricle, like in your systemic hypertension or in your aortic stenosis. More commonly in your
Aortic stenosis.
aortic
Aortic
stenosis.
stenosis.
So what do you mean by heaving? It is going to lift your fingers and it is going
Okay,
to
ma'am.
sustain your fingers for some time.
Sustained lifting. Okay, ma'am.
The lift is going to be sustained. Then you call it
Yes.
as heaving. That is a heaving
Yes.
apical impulse. You have it in aortic stenosis. But when it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
going to be in case of your aortic regurgitation or MR in these conditions, the apical
Okay,
impulse
ma'am.
is not going to be heaving, but you will feel the apical impulse. You will feel the apex pulsation. It can be
Okay.
widely. It is more of pulsatile, quite a hyperdynamic. Increase
Hyperdynamic. Okay.
hyperdynamic. So the increased stroke volume you appreciate as hyperdynamic, but here the lift is ill sustained. It is
Sustained.
ill sustained. It is not
Okay.
going to lift your fingers for quite few seconds and it is going to come down. It is
Okay,
not
ma'am.
it is going to touch and then come down, but it is going to occupy wider area because of
Oh,
increased stroke volume, wider area more than one intercostal space or wider area.
okay.
And then it is not going to really lift it like a heaving. It is a ill-sustained heave. So it is a
Okay.
hypertonic impulse and heaving you told. About the thrill, what are all the conditions in here? Which thrill you expect?
Uh, thrill. Syst- I mean,
Thrill you cannot really say about the apex because apex is formed by LV and apex. Which valvular events are quite appreciated in the apex?
mitral regurgitation.
Mitral valvular events. So when you have a diastolic thrill in a mitral area, that indicates
Dias-
diastolic.
diastolic thrill. Aortic regurgitation. Diastolic basal thrills may be diastolic in case of aortic regurgitation.
Yeah, we are talking about the palpation of the apex, and here
Yes,
the
ma'am.
any events in the apex are related to the mitral area. So when you have a diastolic thrill in the mitral area, that is in your
Mitral stenosis, ma'am.
yes, it is in your mitral stenosis. When you have a systolic thrill in the mitral area, it is due to
Mitral regurgitation.
regurgitation. And in the case of your aortic stenosis, where you will feel the thrill, which area?
Aortic area, ma'am.
So no thrill in your aortic area. And also now you said about thrill in the carotid. But with the thrill in the carotid, you have described about the aortic area now, or you're going to describe now in the
I'm
next
going
slide.
to next slide, ma'am, in auscultation
Talking
in
about
aortic area.
so you have to, no, that is auscultation. Go back to your palpation. So
Okay, ma'am.
palpation you have completed, you have to also say about the individual areas. No
Okay, ma'am.
pulse of the precordium, no parasternal heave, no palpable P2. Thrill in the
Okay,
other areas also you have to mention.
okay, ma'am.
Only the apical impulse. And then you have to come to the palpation, you have to describe area wise. The
Okay,
apex,
ma'am.
but you have not said anything. You said only it's a faint apex. Is it a heaving apex that you have to confirm? And then it is the position you have confirmed it with a palpation. And nature
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
apical impulse you have to assess. After assessing the nature of the apical impulse, you have to also feel for the thrill. Then you come to
Okay,
the left lower sternal area, your tricuspid area. There you look for.
okay,
Then you come to your second aortic area, that is a neo-aortic area. There you look for the thrill. At the same time, left parasternal area, you have already for the parasternal heave. Yes,
yes,
due to pulmonary hypertension, you are RPH. Then you come to the pulmonary area. Pulmonary area, you look for thrill, and then come to the aortic area. Aortic area, you look for the thrill. So area
okay,
wise for the thrill.
okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
I mentioned only about parasternal heave and palpable P2. The other areas also you have to describe. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Percussion, hard bodies within normal limits.
Okay. So how did you percuss? Any idea about percussion? Yes. So now, yeah,
Hello?
percussion is not going to place much role, but again, you will see, you can, when you're saying percussion, the hard borders are within the normal limits, you must be able to say, how will you percuss? You must have an idea, how will you do it? What does percussion
Okay,
hard border? What is mean by left ward border? That you must know it. Yes. Now we are not
okay.
going to say about it. We are going for the auscultation. Yes.
Auscultation. Auscultation. Mitral area S1 S2 heard. S1 is normal in intensity with no added sounds, and high pitched murmur heard. Tricuspid area S1 S2 heard. S1 is normal in intensity, no
Wait.
added sounds.
Wait.
Aortic area, yes, ma'am.
Aditya, we have to discuss area by area. So now
Okay,
we are
ma'am.
starting with mitral area.
Yes,
Mitral
ma'am.
area, you are hearing the both the sounds. S1, S2, and S1 is normal in intensity. No added
Yes,
sounds like S3 or S4 or a opening snap. And you
yes, ma'am.
say hearing a high pitched murmur. So when you
Yes, ma'am.
say the murmur here in the mitral area, you have to say again like your thrill, whether it is systolic or diastolic. So
Okay, okay, ma'am.
what are all the high?
Systolic.
Yeah, tell me.
In mitral, this is a systolic high pitched murmur that is heard in the mitral area one.
Okay, systolic high pitched murmur. Then again you have to describe the murmur. If it is a systolic murmur. So what are all the types of systolic murmur? You know?
Uh, Ejection systolic murmur,
Yes,
holosystolic murmur,
pansystolic murmur. What murmur
pansystolic.
you murmur? Is it an ejection systolic murmur or a pansystolic murmur?
This is an ejection systolic murmur in aortic stenosis.
Yes. So how will you describe an ejection systolic murmur?
Ejection systolic murmur has a crescendo decrescendo pattern. Uh, Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am. It occurs in systole. It has a crescendo decrescendo pattern.
So the ejection systolic murmur of your aortic stenosis and or so why this ejection systolic murmur? Where and all you hear? What are all the conditions where you hear a ejection systolic murmur?
Aortic stenosis, pulmonic stenosis, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and ASD.
AST. Okay, so it can be either due to the fixed obstruction in the left ventricular outflow tract, like your pulmonary stenosis or aortic stenosis, or it can
Hydrogenasis.
abnormally increased flow through a normal valve that you have
Yes,
in
ma'am.
PST due to the left to right
Yes, ma'am.
valve, increased flow through this pulmonary valve causing your ESM. So the ESM is, it is starting after the first heart sound, then it is going to reach a peak in the middle of the systole, and then it is
Okay,
going
ma'am.
to decrease and ends before the second heart sound. Can you
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
me? So starts after S1, reaches the peak in mid systole, and then decreases and stops before your S2. This is your ejection systolic murmur. It is a
Okay,
crescendo
ma'am.
crescendo murmur or a diamond shaped murmur. If it is a
Diamond shape, ma'am.
murmur, how will you describe it?
Ma'am, I could not hear me, ma'am. What was
If
it?
it is PSM, how will you describe a PSM?
Uh, I don't know, ma'am.
So the
Hello?
pansystolic murmur, it starts with the S1. It is of uniform intensity, continues throughout the systole, and ends with the
Okay.
second sound. That is your pansystolic murmur. It is of uniform intensity, starting from
Okay,
S,
ma'am.
ending in S2. Normally, in the mitral area, you expect a pansystolic murmur of mitral regurgitation.
Mitral.
That
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, that is the murmur of the mitral area. But here you have mentioned the ESM. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
To also say about the grading of the murmur. How will you grade a systolic murmur?
There are 6 grades, ma'am. First, grade 1 is barely audible on listening carefully. Grade
Mm.
2 is the murmur is faint but easily audible. Grade 3, it's loud and easily audible but there is no thrill.
Mm.
Grade 4 is loud with thrill.
Mm.
Grade 5 is very loud with thrill, heard with scope barely touching the chest. Grade 6 is very loud thrill without stethoscope. It can be heard just without the stethoscope.
Yes. So there are 6 grades in the systolic murmur, and grade 4 is associated with thrill. So
Yes,
likewise,
ma'am.
you have to say whenever you hear a murmur, you have to grade. If possible, you say the grading, because here can you grade? Already you have completed your palpation. So what can be the grade here?
Grade there was no thrill, ma'am. So it will be grade 3.
3/6. Yes. Then you come
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
tricuspid area. Yes. Continue.
Tricuspid area. S1, S2 is heard. S1 is normal in intensity, and there is no added sounds.
Yes. You are
And
not.
aortic. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you are coming later. Okay, fine. Mm.
Aortic area. S1, S2 is heard. S2 is soft. An ejection systolic murmur, loud rasping, harsh quality, high pitched. Grade 3 radiating to the apex, and the low pitched grade 3 radiating to the neck is heard.
Radiating to the apex spine, radiating to the your conductor to your carotids. And when the carotid is associated with a thrill, definitely the thrill will be there in your aortic area. So he would have, those who have examined the case would have missed the thrill. That is one possibility. And so
Okay,
definitely
ma'am.
think it will be a 4/6. And the aortic normal ESM is heard also in your mitral area. In that way, you have heard over the mitral area also. And why
Yes,
the
ma'am.
S2 is soft? Normally in the aortic area, you hear the aortic valve closure better. Here, S2 is soft means you indicate the aortic valve closure. Why the
Yes, ma'am.
S2 is here?
Yeah, because of sclerosed valve, ma'am. S2 is soft.
Sclerosed or calcified valve can cause the
Cal
second aortic valve closure soft. In your
soft
pulmonary,
S2.
yes, pulmonary area. So aortic area, again, you have described about the heart sounds, you have described about the murmur, and you said the murmur is 3/6, and you said the
Yes,
murmur is high pitched, ejection systolic murmur. And can you
yes, ma'am.
expect any additional sounds in the aortic area? Do you expect any additional sounds if it is a case of aortic stenosis?
If it is a severe aortic stenosis, there could be paradoxical S2 split, ma'am.
That is good. So the S2, again, the A2 will be delayed. There can be a narrow
Yes.
close split and then the reverse paradoxical split. That is good. But it is again
Yes.
difficult to appreciate. So what I mean is
Okay,
that
ma'am.
valvular aortic stenosis due to bicuspid aortic valve.
Okay, ma'am.
Valvular aortic
Oh,
stenosis,
by
what you will hear? The sound of opening of the aortic valve as an ejection flick.
Ejection click, systolic click in S1. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. After the S1, you will hear the ejection click, then you hear the mouth.
Ejection click.
So it
Yes,
can
ma'am.
be
Okay.
congenital aortic stenosis. And also
Okay.
pulmonary valve stenosis, you can have a pulmonary ejection click. And where
Yes,
alone
ma'am.
you have ejection click? Ejection click is all
In ejection click is also seen in mitral valve prolapse, ma'am.
that
Mid
is not
systolic click.
that is not ejection click. Ejection clicks you
Oh,
have only in case of the base of the heart over the aorta and pulmonary valve with the aortic valve stenosis and pulmonary valve stenosis because
okay, ma'am.
here there is the ventricle is going to eject the blood through this narrow valve and this
Okay.
causes the ejection click. If there is a mitral valve prolapse, you have only it is not called as ejection click. It is called as
Okay,
a
ma'am.
mid-systolic click due to the
Mid
mitral
systolic.
valve prolapse.
Okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
In your pulmonary area, you said about
S1, S2 is heard. There is no loud P2 and there is no added sounds.
no loud P2 and no added sounds. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Other system, RS, normal vesicular breath sounds, no added sounds. CNS, no focal neurological deficit. Abdomen, soft and there is no organomegaly.
So RS, you want to actually what are you looking for in RS? Suppose if the patient is going to have associated pulmonary edema, you are going to look for the fine
Edema.
crepitation base. Yes,
Okay,
that
ma'am.
is RS. Then CNS, why focal neurological deficit? Where do you have a focal neurological deficit?
In case of a stroke, ma'am, cerebral vascular attack, we can have a focal neurological deficit.
Why in a CVS case you want to look for a stroke?
Stroke due to an embolus from the heart, ma'am.
Yes, good. So a thromboembolic manifestation, there can be left atrial thrombus. Also, it can be due to the vegetations can fragment and they can dislodge and cause a embolic manifestation. So,
Yes, ma'am.
infective endocarditis. So, on your left atrial thrombus,
Okay.
that is causing your stroke. Yes. Abdomen, no
It's
abdomen.
soft and there is no organomegaly.
Abdominomegaly you expect in abdomen in CVS.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
happens in right heart failure? Cardiac
Right
failure.
heart failure, it causes congestion. Hepatomegaly
Tender
can be
congestive
seen, ma'am.
hepatomegaly. Yes, it is painful hepatomegaly in right heart failure with the free fluid in the abdomen. There
Yes,
can be
ma'am.
pedal edema. Yes, and then we have
Yes, ma'am.
splenomegaly in a CVS case. Due to your, again, you said about infective
Okay, ma'am. Hello? Hello,
and
ma'am. You're not audible, ma'am. Hello?
where you have splenomegaly in a CVS case. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Splenomegaly, infective endocarditis, ma'am.
Infective endocarditis. So, infective endocarditis will associate with splenomegaly, anemia. Yes, some features of the metabolic and vegetations are earlier, as well as no examinations, broad spots,
Yes, ma'am.
all this
Rod
causing
spots.
your metabolic and dislodged fragmented vegetation, macroembolic phenomena. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So now,
Di-
diagnosis, yes.
Diagnosis. A case of acquired valvular heart disease of possible degenerative etiology involving aortic valve in the form of aortic stenosis without signs of pulmonary hypertension, infective endocarditis, and the patient is not in cardiac failure.
And you have to say patient is in sinus rhythm. That you have missed.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
If not
Okay.
not having infective endocarditis, fine. Patient also in sinus rhythm. So it is
Yes, ma'am.
acquired. Probably it is due to the aortic valve degeneration, atherosclerosis.
Sclerosis, calcification, and sclerosis.
Okay. So
Yes,
what are
ma'am.
all the possible conditions for your, what are all the causes for your aortic stenosis?
Aortic stenosis in elderly people, it's mostly sclerosis and calcification. In younger people, could be due to congenital bicuspid aortic valve,
Okay.
or it can also have a rheumatic etiology, but it is very very rare.
Rheumatic etiology can be there, and then younger people, if it is a congenital bicuspid aortic valve, you will have a ejection click.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Ejection
what
clip.
is where are the sites of stenosis in aortic area? It can be supravalvular stenosis, it can be valvular stenosis, it can be subvalvular.
Subvalvular stenosis. Yes, ma'am.
So where you will have supravalvular stenosis?
Supravalvular stenosis is seen with William syndrome, ma'am.
What are all the features?
Williams syndrome is characterized by growth failure, hypercalcemia, and mental retardation.
Retardation. Elfin faces, broadened forehead and bow-shaped upper lip. So with hypercalcemia and MR, that is the phases is elfin phases in supravalvular stenosis and
Yes,
valvular
ma'am.
subvalvular web. Subvalvular stenosis due to your congenital bicuspid aortic stenosis and
Yes, ma'am.
atherosclerosis. Yes, and calcified aortic valve. So in
Okay, ma'am.
if the valve is closed or calcified, as you said, the aortic valve to closure won't be audible.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think why you have the ESM in aortic stenosis? You described it
IIT.
very well. Why is the ESM?
ESM in ejection systolic murmur is due to sclerosis. There is fixed cardiac output, ma'am. The blood flowing through the stenos aortic valve causes the murmur during
Slowly, if the
ejection.
left ventricle is ejecting blood slowly through this stenosed valve,
Stenos
and
valve.
stenosed valve, and the pressure gradually reaches in the only the middle of the systole. So you
Yes,
have a,
ma'am.
that's why you have a ejection systolic murmur. That is also the reason for the slow ejection is the reason for your slow rising pulse. Your pulses
Okay.
tardens. Yes.
Valve. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So what could be, so any manometer you do, see this patient, you said very well, the ESM is here in the aortic area. Any
Yes, ma'am.
manometer you do to hear the ESM in the aortic area better, and what is the position you will hear the ESM?
Uh, Valsalva maneuver, ma'am. Valsalva maneuver decreases. Uh,
Okay,
um,
more that you have to say with inspiration or expiration. Being an
okay. 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 Uh, with inspiration. Uh, with inspiration. I'm not very sure about.
no, you are not
Confused.
right. One thing is normally you are looking for the apex beat in which position?
Apex. Apex peak in left lateral position, ma'am.
You are wrong. So you are
Apex.
going for the apex beat with the patient lying down in the supine position.
Okay, ma'am.
Auscultating the mitral area. I am asking you in which position to look for the inspection of the heart you will do only with the lying down supine. When
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am. You're breaking again, ma'am. Your voice is not clear.
you are going to do the inspection of the CVS looking for the apical impulse by the
Yes, ma'am.
patient lying down in supine position. You should not put him in left lateral. Why?
Um, Left lateral position. It is. I don't know, ma'am.
It may displace the apex speed and the apical impulse. No?
Yes, you are right very much. When you are going to change the position of the patient, the apex beat will be shifted laterally. So you have to always
Oh.
examine the inspection should be done in the patient lying down in the supine position. And again, for the auscultation, you can make the patient lying down in the left lateral for mitral valve events, and for the aortic valve and pulmonary valve events, you have to make the patient sitting up in erect and leaning forward.
Leaning forward. Okay, ma'am.
In the case of
Okay,
the
ma'am.
mitral valve, they are better here with the patient put in left lateral position Left-sided events are accentuated with your expiration and right-sided with your inspiration. So the
Yes,
mitral
okay.
will be again, patient puts the patient in left lateral and the patient has to hold the breath in the expiration. You hear the mitral
Okay.
murmur better.
Okay.
Murmur or pulmonary murmur better with the patient sitting up, leaning forward and holding the breath in expiration.
Expiration.
The
Okay,
position you
ma'am.
have to ask the patient to do for hearing the ESM of the aortic area better.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, this is regarding the murmur, but the click doesn't follow this rule. The click doesn't follow this rule. Yes. And
Okay.
again, what are all the complications? What is the possible? We discuss about the etiology. What are all the
Yes,
possible
ma'am.
complications of aortic stenosis?
Complication could be infective endocarditis, ma'am. It can also cause failure, heart failure, left heart failure.
Heart failure, is it very common?
Uh, Most common is infective endocarditis, I think, ma'am.
Failure
Maybe.
due to stroke volume is common in your AR, infective
Okay.
endocarditis. And what is you describe all the symptoms. So the patient can have an angina and premature. There is one of the symptom is angina. The patient can develop an ischemic heart disease, myocardial
Okay.
infarction. So that
Okay.
is your infective endocarditis. Then sudden cardiac arrest, death is also possible in your aortic stenosis. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So, how will you confirm your investigation?
Investigation, we can do an chest X-ray, ma'am. In chest X-ray, there will be a proximal aortic artery dilation, ma'am. In echocardiogram, trans uh, transthoracic echo, there will be increased aortic flow gradient and increase in peak systolic aortic velocity. And the aortic valve surface will also be very low, ma'am.
So, what is the normal aortic valve surface?
It's 3 to 4 centimeters square.
So, in stenosis, how much it will be reduced? Less than
In severe stenosis, it will be less than 1.
that you are saying about the mitral.
Oh,
0.6.
okay, ma'am. 0.6. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Mitral valve area is 4 to 6. Here it is 3 to 4. Less than 0.6
Uh-huh.
is stenosis. The
Okay,
stenosis.
ma'am.
Yes. So, and you are going to look for the echo. You are also going to look for the vegetations. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Usually the
ma'am.
experience, vegetations and how is the any concentric hypertrophy of your LVH, because more
Okay,
commonly the case you have a concentric LVH. Yes,
okay,
parental
ma'am.
causes concentric LVH. Yes, and your
Uh,
this patient is middle-aged patient. You only said
okay.
the patient something. You want to do an coronary angiogram because this patient calcified by aortic stenosis. You have to look for the how are the coronary vessels. The patient is
Okay, ma'am.
of the coronary vessels. That also you have to do. Again,
Okay,
you have
ma'am.
the lipid profile. Doppler is
Lipid.
fine. Doppler
Okay. Okay,
and
ma'am.
stabilization. Angio, fine. Next.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
That is all, ma'am.
that's all. You will not treat the patient.
uh, Treatment is in symptomatic aortic stenosis patient. We have to do aortic valve replacement, ma'am. In
Okay.
asymptomatic patient, in the following condition, aortic valve replacement is preferred if the left ventricular ejection fraction is less than 50%, and during routine echo, if there is rapid progression of AS, aortic valve replacement is preferred, and and in case of an young patient with a bicuspid aortic valve, also aortic valve replacement is preferred, ma'am.
So post valve replacement, will you follow anything? Any advice you will give to the patient?
Post valve replacement. Um,
As angina, you have to treat the angina. Yes. And
Okay, ma'am.
only you can do in the fixed obstruction, you cannot do anything. Yes, what you are saying as a valve replacement is good. And the
Yes, ma'am.
also, like any aortic stenosis significant or congenital aortic valve, bicuspid aortic valve, you do a valve replacement. Post
Yes,
valve,
ma'am.
put the patient on anticoagulant.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. And
In case of a patient who is contraindicated for surgery, percutaneous balloon aortic valvotomy is done, ma'am.
that can provide relief only for some time. Yes, that you can do. Yes.
And transcatheter aortic valve implantation is also done
Yes.
in asymptomatic patients majorly.
Yes, pa. So can we go for a DD of this news differential diagnosis? See, when do you want to
Uh,
come to class? Next class is at what time? We have some time now.
till yes, ma'am, till 10 o'clock. Yep.
10 o'clock at what time you want to leave? Akash.
Ma'am, next class is at 10:30, ma'am. We can leave by 10:10 or 10:15, ma'am. No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, fine. So what is the thing like? Suppose if this patient is going to have a mitral valve disease, which valve you will operate first? Mitral valve or aortic valve?
Mm, mitral valve, ma'am.
Mitral valve. Okay. Good. So again, the patient is having an ESM in the aortic area. Yes. If the patient is having an ESM in the parasternal area,
Okay.
you
Uh,
said the patient is having an ESM. ESM in the aortic area, does it mean that the patient is having aortic stenosis? Or the patient can have an ESM in the aortic area with a calcific degenerative valve.
okay, ma'am.
Because degenerative valve can cause an aortic ESM without stenosis. So
Okay,
when
ma'am.
the patient is having an aortic stenosis,
Uh,
what are all the findings in your case to say that the patient is having aortic stenosis? You presented so well
yes,
from your
aortic. Cardinal signs must be there, ma'am. There must be syncope, there must be dyspnea, and there must be angina.
good. The symptoms
Uh,
are dyspnea is there, also syncope is there. Good.
uh, and these are the main three symptoms for aortic stenosis, ma'am.
Yes.
And with in case of signs, there must be a systolic ejection systolic number,
No,
and if
for that, see how you came from the history. Positive findings in the history are your dyspnea, progress from grade 2 to grade 3,
yes,
fatigability,
ma'am.
and your
Yes, ma'am.
syncope. Easy
Yes, ma'am.
fatigability due to low cardiac output, again syncope due to your low cardiac output, causing
Yes,
cerebral
ma'am.
perfusion. This is from
Yes,
the
ma'am.
history. After this,
Yes,
you come for the general examination. General examination, you don't have any positive findings. I
yes,
think
ma'am.
what color you
Yes, ma'am.
said.
Only mild pallor is there.
Then
Okay.
your vitals.
In
Pulse, how is the pulse pressure?
pulse pressure is very narrow, narrow pulse pressure, and there is also a slow rising pulse, indicating presence of pulsus parvis ectardis.
Yes.
And on inspection, the apical beat is
Again,
shifted laterally.
wait. Low volume pulse with a slow rising character. The volume is low and the
Yes,
character is slow rising. That is
slow rising
parvasic.
character.
Rising and low volume pulse. That is one thing you have to easily you can only feel it with your character. The
Yes,
examining the
ma'am.
character, you can assess the character and volume. And again,
Okay,
another
ma'am.
thing is your narrow pulse pressure. It is only 20 millimeter of mercury here. These two
Yes, ma'am.
are suggestive of your aortic stenosis.
Aortic stenosis.
Yes. So normally, without the structural stenosis, you will not have a low volume pulse. You will not have a narrow pulse pressure. These two are very important findings to say that your aortic stenosis is structural. Yes.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
And examination also your apex beat in the inspection it is shifted out. Why?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Can
shifted
you-
laterally
Yes.
due to
Why?
due to left ventricle hypertrophy, ma'am.
Hypertrophy, concentric LH. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
So again, in your palpation, you missed the thrill. I feel you have to look for the thrill.
Okay,
I
ma'am.
but you
Okay, ma'am.
identify ESM in your mitral area. That is good. But again, iotic area, you said the carotid thrill is there. In that sense, you need to look for the thrill in the
Aortic
iotic.
thrill also. Okay, ma'am.
So yes. So the summary of your findings are patient with the symptoms of
Symptoms
syncope.
of dyspnea and syncope with
Yes.
a narrow pulse pressure and uh, slow rising pulse with a low volume
Yes.
and apical beat which is shifted laterally, indicative of uh, aortic aortic valve stenosis.
Aortic valve stenosis. But the character you said it is faintly palpable or something regarding the apex beat. You look for if the apex beat is heaving.
Yes,
If
ma'am. Heaving apex beat. Okay.
that is one thing. And then again, yeah, auscultation you have already described with the ESM grade 3 by 6. Better here
Great.
in the aortic area, you have to make the patient to sit and lean forward and
Lean
then to
forward.
hold the breath in expiration. Then you will know that
Yeah.
it's a murmur from the aortic area. Suppose you
Okay,
hear
ma'am.
of the AST, the patient can after the first again the AST. This is about the AST ESM. How it will be, where it will be heard. It will be in ESM, no doubt, where it will be heard. Again, here you said the second sound and all you have characterized very well. You said the
Yes,
reverse,
ma'am.
you said the second sound is soft. Aortic second sound is soft.
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
characteristic of your valve
Sclerosed aortic valve. Yes,
sclerosed
ma'am.
valve. Good. So in case of ASD, where you will hear the ESM? How will be the second heart sound?
Higher fixed. There'll be a fixed S2 split in ASD, ma'am.
Fixed S2 split due to the
In
increased flow with respect of inspiration and expiration. Yes.
yes, ma'am. And
Except of the second heart sound, and you hear the ESM better heard in the left parasternal area. It can
okay,
be
ma'am.
area, mostly pulmonary area or in the second, third intercostal spaces. So pulmonary, why there is ESM in ASD? Just now I think I told you.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I got disconnected, ma'am. Hello.
See, why you get the ESM in aortic stenosis, you know well, because
Yes, ma'am.
the left ventricle is ejecting against a stenosed aortic valve, you get this ESM. Slowly, the
Yes,
blood
ma'am.
is reduced output, you get the ESM,
Oh,
ejecting systemic murmur. And why you
yes,
have
ma'am.
an ESM in AST? In AST, you don't have any pulmonary valve stenosis, is it? Why you hear ESM in pulmonary area in AST?
Uh, because there's a because of pressure difference between the right and left heart, ma'am, blood flows into the right heart,
It's not.
no matter.
No, no, that is not there much in your ASD between the left atrium to right atrium. So that is not the reason. Here it is due to the
Yes.
increased flow of the blood through the pulmonary valve. In case of your
Okay.
ASD, due to the left to right shunt. That is the reason for your ESM in ASD. The murmur
Okay, ma'am.
can be due to the ejection of the blood through the narrowed valve, through the pulmonary valve or aortic valve, or due to the abnormal valve or the normal valve with increased flow through the normal valve. That is the reason
Oh,
for
okay,
increased
ma'am. Okay.
flow through the normal pulmonary valve. That is the reason
Okay.
for your ESM in your ASD. Yes.
Yes. Okay, ma'am.
So any doubts you people have or anything else you want to discuss, you can say if it is a doubt, also anything else.
Ma'am, in VSD also we'd have an ejection systolic murmur, ma'am.
No, no. In VSD, you have a pansystolic
So
murmur.
number.
In VSD, you have what you have is only a pansystolic murmur, and there is a pressure difference between the left ventricle and the right ventricle. So the murmur in VSD is due to the flow through the shunt, flow through the ventricular defect in the ventricular septum. That is causing the pansystolic murmur. Because when the ventricle is filling in systole, the blood is shunted from left ventricle to the right ventricle throughout the systole because of the pressure difference between the LV and RV. That is the reason for your murmur. Ejection murmur you hear only due to the injection of the blood into the semilunar valves like aorta or pulmonary valve. You
Okay.
don't get ejection systolic murmur over the mitral area, over the tricuspid area, over the VSD. Why you have an ejection systolic murmur in ASD is the left to right shunt between the atria is silent because of the less pressure difference between the left atrium and the right atrium. And again, the increased blood from the due to the shunt, apart from the blood from the vena cava, the right atrium is also receiving the blood from the left atrium through the shunt. So this increased flow, there is an increased flow. One is from the vein, that is from the veins, that is from the vena cava. The RV is receiving blood. Another, sorry, RA is receiving blood. And another is from the shunt, left to right shunt. So this blood from the increased blood from the right atrium is ejected into your RV. So this increased blood flowing through the normal pulmonary valve is causing the ejection systolic murmur. Can you understand? When the blood is ejected into the valve, you get ejection systolic murmur. Ejection can only occur in the outflow tract, where the ventricle is going to contract and eject. Left ventricle going to eject into the aorta through the aortic valve. Right ventricle going to eject into the pulmonary artery through the pulmonary valve. So only in the left ventricle, right ventricle outflow tracts, only in the pulmonary valve and in the aortic valve, you will have an ejection systolic murmur. The ASD murmur is also an ejection systolic murmur because there is an increased flow through the normal pulmonary valve. The valve is not stenosed. The murmurs are always due to the turbulence of blood flow through either intracardiac shunt or through abnormal valves. They are the structural, the murmurs you hear over that particular side. But also murmurs can occur due to increased flow. Such a murmur, increased flow through the normal valve, again that is the ASD murmur, ESM over the pulmonary area. Can you understand now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And the ejection systolic murmur in parasternal area, that was in pulmonic stenosis, ma'am.
Yes, that's why we described now. No, now we have discussed about the pulmonary aortic stenosis. If
Yes.
it is pulmonary stenosis, again you will have an ESM in the pulmonary area.
In the parasternal area, ma'am?
Parasternal heave is due to the RVH. It is due to the right ventricular hypertrophy. You are feeling that either it can be felt or it can be, you can say it is obliterable, not obliterable, all those gradings. It is due to the RVH with pulmonary hypertension, yes. And loud P2, palpable P2, it is due to your pulmonary hypertension.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am. Actually, I had one doubt. You told that in case of both like combined aortic valve and mitral valve disease, we'll do surgery on the mitral valve first. Ma'am, could you tell the reason, ma'am?
The mitral valve first because normally when you operate the aortic valve, the mitral valve pathology will be still present. Suppose if there is a mitral regurgitation, we are not talking about mitral stenosis. If there is a mitral regurgitation, what will be the consequence of mitral regurgitation? Always you try to read the hemodynamics of valvular events.
Yes, ma'am.
The left atrial enlargement, ma'am.
One thing is the left atrial enlargement characteristic of your MS. Because your pressure, there is a stenosed mitral valve, the chamber proximal is left atrium, it is the pressure is going to raise and it is conducted through the valvulus pulmonary veins to the pulmonary vascular bed. You have pulmonary congestion, secondary pulmonary hypertension, again the right side is affected. Here in MS, your LV is not affected. Suppose if it is the MR, what happens?
LVH, like
eccentric hypertrophy.
eccentric volume overload.
Failure eccentric hypertrophy. So if you are having a patient with a MR and AS or something with the aortic valve disease, you are going to operate the aortic valve first. You are going to leave the MR or mitral valve pathology. Then again the LV failure can occur due to your MR. So to avoid that, you are going to operate the mitral valve first, or you can do simultaneously both the valve replacement. Suppose there is a resistant lesion of the mitral valve calcified, we can do the mitral valve replacement and stenosis of aortic valve replacement together. That
Yes,
is, if
ma'am.
it is only a calcified valve, you are not going to do for a calcified. If there is a stenosed valve, you are not going to replace for a aging degeneration or simple calcification not causing stenosis. You are not going to operate at all. Your indication for valve replacement is there is a valvular pathology, there is complication in the heart due to the valvular pathology.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So anything else you want to know? See, what I would like you to do is any valve lesion you people are discussing, anything you are presenting with the CVS, please read the hemodynamics. The hemodynamics will say about your course of the event of that particular valve, also the complications. Also, you will understand the murmurs, everything better with the hemodynamics. So the hemodynamics, mostly you can go through your OP guide where you will have the hemodynamics in a better way. Maybe it will be given also in your Harrison. No doubt in that. You can read the books like Harrison or pediatric, you can read the OP guide for understanding the hemodynamics. That means, suppose there is a flow through this valve and how the chamber will be. Suppose in mitral regurgitation, there is a regurgitant jet through the mitral valve. And then this regurgitant stream as well as the forward flow is going to come to the LV. The LV cannot cope with the increased volume. So there is eccentric hypertrophy and LV failure. So again, your raised pressure in the left atrium is transmitted through the pulmonary veins, through the pulmonary vascular bed. Again, there is a resistance, increased resistance causing increased pulmonary artery pressure, pulmonary hypertension. When there is a pulmonary hypertension, the RV undergoes hypertrophy. Again, the chamber proximal to it is RA. So like that, you have to read the consequence or the course of this valvular events. In that way, you will understand it better. So any valve disease you present, you read the hemodynamics. That is very important to understand what is happening in that valvular stenosis or valvular regurgitation. Similarly, in aortic regurgitation, because of the back leak through the aortic valve, the back leak blood as well as the forward blood, the ventricle has to handle two blood. One is the blood is going to leak from the aorta into the ventricle. Other one is the forward flow of the blood from the LA to the LV. So the ventricle is receiving blood from two directions. One is from LA to the LV and again the back leak from your aorta. So here the ventricle again like MR, here also it is handling a large volume of blood. That's why the patient will go for heart failure in your AR also. Can you understand? Yes? All
Yes,
are yes, Pa?
Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am. Understood.
Yeah. So if there is any doubt or any questions, again you can ask, or otherwise you can disperse for your next class. So read the hemodynamics, read about the valve. Don't forget to read the method of examination of the patient. That is very important. Yes, and relevant theory of the particular valve. That is important. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.